Hi, everyone, and welcome back to another live stream watch-along on the Dibbly-Dobbly podcast. And it's been a while since we've done a live stream on the podcast, but it's good to be back nonetheless. And after our long break from streaming on the podcast, we're finally back for the test series against New Zealand and Australia for this last session of day 3, and Australia pretty much in the box seat, you would have to say. Tough ask for New Zealand, chasing 369. They've already lost a wicket. That was Tom Latham just before the tea break. And Will Young, Kane Williamson out there for New Zealand, seeing what they can do. It's going to be Pat Cummins to open up after tea. And he's into the attack, the Australian skipper. He'll be delighted with the position Australia are in. So here's Cummins to open up after tea. He's in. Young lets it go outside off stump. No run. But it's good to be back. Thanks, everyone, for joining us, wherever you may be. Good to be back for our first stream in a while. And hopefully you can come in with your thoughts on this test match and tell us your thoughts about how this test match is going, because Australia well on top at this current stage of this match. New Zealand chasing 369 as Cummins is in. And this one, playing a miss from Young. And there's no run. And good stuff from Cummins after tea. Started really well, on the money, as always. Not giving too much away to Will Young here, just playing inside the line of that one. Good take from Carey. Took a really good catch in that second session of play. Hello, John. Good to see you. Hope you're well. And it's good to be back after a while. Here's Cummins in again to Young. And this one driven straight back down the ground to from Young. And there's no run to middle. Good start from Cummins. And New Zealand, tough order. Chasing 369 ain't going to be easy. Bit of turn on the surface, bit of spin. Nathan Lyon's got a wicket. And with 2 days remaining, Australia firmly on top in this test match. New Zealand, if we saw their batting, anything to go by, it wasn't the flashes of batting performances. Cummins in, and this one in the air, taken. Off the pad, though, cramped up Young. It jagged back from Cummins. Maybe Australia 40 got a bit of bat or glove on that, but just came off, mainly off the pad. Oh, jagged back a mile. Young cramped up. Cummins probing in the server after tea. Jihan, good to see you as always. Thanks for joining us. And I know that you will have your say, of course, on how Australia have performed thus far. Cummins in again. And this one off the outside edge from Young, gets it to behind square on the offside. There's no run. Jihan, you say, why don't Australia ever grab hold of the game in the third innings? Jihan says this kind of performance cost in the 2019 Ashes. And Jihan says, I'm a very harsh critic. Yes, I know you are, Jihan. Look, they're in a good position. 369, still a lot of runs. So I think Australia will be pretty happy with that target. Cummins in. And this one, playing a miss again from Young. Good take from Carey. There's no run. It's the end of the over, 115. Australia need a further 9 wickets to win. New Zealand, well, they need 300-odd runs to win. And their batting yesterday was very scratchy, to say the least. Australia well on top in this test match. Back to your point, Jihan. Yeah, I would say, the third innings, it's always a difficult innings to bat, regardless. You're trying to set up the test match. You form some good partnerships here and there. You can get a reasonable target. Some teams often falter in that third innings. Yeah, I wasn't surprised that Australia lost the wickets the way they did, but, they forced the game forward, which is the main thing. There's some weather around on Monday for day 5. So, get up past 350 is a good result. So definitely New Zealand under pressure, that's for sure. The Australian bowlers are not going to give them an inch. Lyon back. He's in now to Williamson, who pushes us out to mid-off, and there's no run. Oh, Kane Williamson, what a test match he's had. He nearly got caught down the leg side before tea. That would have been a horrible way to get out after he was run out yesterday. Well, you have to say it was Williamson's fault. Should have chose a better line or didn't go through for the single in the first place. Line in, and this one. Outside edge from Williamson. There's no run. Still on naught. He's on a pair, Williamson, so he wants to get off that dreaded pair. And he's important for New Zealand if they are going to chase down this target, obviously. On collecting him on the thigh on that previous delivery. So line probing. He will want another one here. Australia got a leg slip, and a short leg line in. And this one, Williamson works it to the leg side, and there's no run. Pressure mounting on Williamson. He wants to get off the mark. He wants to get off that pair. This could be all over today. You never know. New Zealand may lose all 9 wickets in this last session. It could be all done in 3 days. It's happened before. Line in. This one short, and Williamson pulls to backward square leg, and there's no run. Still on naught. Good from line, just building this pressure on Williamson. He wants to get off the mark. It's been in good touch, Williamson. Scored over 400 runs in the South Africa series recently for New Zealand. So he'll be hoping to capitalise on that in this innings. But he'll have to get past Nathan Lyon. He's in again, Lyon. And this one short, pulled by Williamson. Straight to the fielder at deep square leg. Just pick up a single. He's off the mark. He's off the pair. And a cheer from the crowd as Kane Williamson completes that single. Oh, Nathan Lyon, he's had a pretty good day. Top scored with 41. Not every day that you associate Nathan Lyon in terms of top scoring for Australia in the innings, but he did. Unfortunately, didn't quite get that half century. Would have been nice if he did get that milestone. We know that stat from Nathan Lyon. Most runs without a test 50. Line in, and this one in the air. Oh, just falling short. Marnus Labuschagne diving. That came off a bit of battle glove. Oh, he nearly got there. It's the end of the over. It's 1 for 16. Let's have a look on this replay. Bit of turn from line. Did it get a bit of glove? No, it just came off the thigh. Oh, good effort from Labuschagne. Good fielder, as always. End of the over, 1 for 16 for New Zealand. Pat Cummins to continue. After tea, bowled really well. First up after tea, 0 for 0 for him. So he bowled and made it. He'll be bowling to Williamson. He's got him out a few times in Test cricket. So good match-up here. Cummins will be hoping to nick out the former captain of New Zealand. So Cummins bustling in, as he always does. He's in now to Williamson. Williamson defends comfortably. Back down the pitch, no run. John says, Jihan, straight in boots and all. Akash, thank you for joining us. You say, big up Dibbly-Dobbly for your contents. Thank you. Glad you're enjoying the episodes. Much appreciated. New World Cricket, Joey. Hello, hope you're well. You say, when was the last time a test ended in 3 days? Well, there's been quite a few test matches that have ended in 3 days over the history of test cricket. So it's not something new, but I'm just trying to remember. I'm not sure. Cummins in. Williamson leaves. There's no run. Akash says, India and South Africa. Yes, of course. Yes, that ended in 2 days. Yeah, that's right. Bit of a crazy test match there. Yeah, that's right. That's the last test that ended in less than 3 days. So it does happen every now and again. Often 2-day test matches are quite a rarity. But some test matches do end in 3. Cummins in, and Williamson tucks it off his pads down to 5 leg, and he'll pick up another single. He moves on to 2, it'll be a leg by. Yeah, leg by in the end, so got a bit of pad on that. And nonetheless, another run for New Zealand. They can take these opportunities to score these runs. Chris K, hello. Hope you're well. Thanks for joining us. So it's great to be back. I know it's been a while, but we have been very busy on the podcast, trying to get people on for interviews and chats, and I've been very busy trying to organize that. But I thought, why not? Got some time. Might as well do a stream. Cummins in, this one left again by Williamson, this short delivery. Ducks underneath it and there's no run. Oh, sorry, Will Young. So Cummins yet to concede a run. New World Cricket. Joey says, I'm new to Test cricket, thanks. Well, it's a wonderful format, Joey, and we had New World Cricket on the podcast, actually. We chatted to him, to Joey, of course. Check that out, about his cricket journey and his experiences of the game in America. This one full from Cummins and taken off the pads from Williamson. A race to the deep backward square leg boundary. Good fielding from Josh Hazlewood. He reins it in. No, he doesn't. It's 4 runs. So boundary for Young. Pat Cummins concedes his first runs in this bowling innings. Yeah, well, he got there. Hazlewood just flicked it awkwardly. He didn't quite flick it back in properly and just flicked it straight up in the air and just rolled back into the rope. Nonetheless, a boundary for New Zealand will definitely help their cause, but they need plenty more. 369 ain't an easy chase by any stretch of the imagination. Pat Cummins, raring to go again. He's in, and this one well defended by Young to end the over. No run. It's the end of the over. 1 for 21. Akash says the Netherlands batsman Michael Leverett is really talented and scored 132 against Namibia this week. And Lofty Eaton, what a player. Yes. He scored the fastest ever T20 century. So good to see associate countries performing well on the world stage. And it's good to chat to those people as well in our associate cricket series on the podcast. Good to chat to those people behind the scenes in associate cricket. They're doing some good work. And hopefully we can see associate cricket grow and develop more and more as the years progress. So 9 overs done. New Zealand 1 for 21 after 9. Nathan Lyon to continue. Turn on offer for him. Australia attacking with this field. They've got a slip, they've got a leg slip, they've got a short leg. Line in to Williamson, who defends this delivery onto the leg side. No run. Oohs and ahs from the Australian fielders, creating opportunities. Nathan Lyon here, but that turn and bounce. Oh, that one nearly collected the glove of Williamson. So he looks a little bit uncomfortable here. Okay. Lyon certainly testing him. Line in. And this one short, pulled by Williamson to deep backward square leg for a boundary. Nathan Lyon just erring on the short side there. And Williamson picks up his first boundary of the innings. It's a bit difficult for Nathan Lyon. He's bowling into the wind from that end here at the Basin Reserve. And that's where the wind is very difficult to bowl into. So he is going to drag the odd one down short. But he is asking questions nonetheless. So New Zealand move on to 25 with the loss of 1 wicket. Line in. This one left alone by Williamson outside off stump. No. John says, yes, this deck is hardly a flat tracker. Yeah, no, it's not a flat pitch by any means. The ball's done a bit. There's been some turn and bounce for line, spin. There's been some seam and swing. There's been some up and down bounce. So it's been a pretty good pitch, I would say. Good contest. Line in. And this one left alone by Williamson. Williamson leaves it alone, but Carey misses it, and it goes down to the fine leg boundary for 4 byes. New Zealand will take the runs as they come. That one down the leg side from line, and Williamson not being able to connect with that with bat, but New Zealand pick up 4 handy byes onto their turtle. Chasing 369 is a tough order. 5 off 16 Williamson. Young's 11 off 24. So his line in. And this one defended by Williamson. And there's no run. Akash says, hope the Netherlands and Nepal become full member nations. This year, they've really played well with a lot of commitment and dedication, and Namibia too. Definitely, they've definitely performed well in recent times. Line in, this one short, and Williamson pulls it over that fielder at backward square leg, and he gets a boundary. Nearly went to hand, and that will end the over. It's the end of the over, 1 for 33. Productive over from New Zealand, a couple of boundaries in that. But Nathan Lyon certainly asking questions. He's certainly in the game. Nathan Lyon. As I mentioned before, as night watchman, batted well today. Did his job, played a few shots, and that has gone into his bowling in terms of the confidence for him. Already 1 for 9, got the wicket of Latham just before tea, who played a cut shot and got an edge straight to Carey, and not far away. That last delivery, Williamson pulling that, not far away from the fielder's hands at that backward square leg position. Here's Cummins in. This one defended comfortably by Young, no run. He's 11 off 25, Williamson 9 off 18. So the partnership developing here for New Zealand. But as we saw in their first innings, it was a bit of a horrible day for New Zealand yesterday, and that's an understatement. It was a shocking day from their standards. That's where this test match obviously turned around in Australia's favour. Cummins. What can he do on this delivery? Can he pick up his first wicket? He's in now. And this one left alone by Young outside off stump. There's no run. John says there is obviously a plan, but Gary needs to tack off stump more. Definitely, John. Definitely. He's definitely in the game. There's turn and bounce there. Obviously, it's obviously a bit difficult for him bowling from that end with the wind blowing in his face. So he is going to get the line wrong on occasion. But Nathan Lyon. 522 test match wickets, which is a phenomenal effort. Cummins in. This one, again, defended by Young. No run. None for 4, Cummins. Mitchell Stark, Josh Hazlewood, Pat Cummins in the top 10 as well, leading wicket takers for Australia, along with Lyon. So it's a pretty good bowling attack. And they showed their class yesterday against New Zealand. Pretty poor batting from New Zealand, really. Crumbling at the seams. Bowled out for under 200 is not a good result. So Cummins. He'll be hoping to get the second wicket here for Australia. Get them off and running in this last session. Here's Cummins. He's in. And this one edged and in the gap through backward point. And Young will pick up a couple of runs. He moves on to 13. Joey from New World Cricket says, terrible fielding from the Kiwis too. Too many drop catches. Yeah, yes, they did. That's right. They weren't at their best in the field. New Zealand, they dropped a few catches in that second session. Really, this game was really, sort of lost, if I can say, yesterday for New Zealand. Cummins in, this one beats Young past his outside edge. There's no run. That's pretty much where the game turned, and Cameron Green producing his innings of 174 not out is going to be a match-winning century, you would think, with the position Australia are in at the moment. Not far away from that edge, Cummins. He's testing Young here. Cummins. In again to Young. And this one is defended to the leg side from Young. No run. It's the end of the over. It's 135. Cold in Wellington. It's a bit overcast. Rain's forecast on day 5. So Australia would like to wrap this up tomorrow if they can. Would like to wrap it up tonight if they can, possibly. Which is a possibility. You never know. New Zealand may have a batting collapse. And as we saw yesterday, it wouldn't put it past them. Nathan Lyon to continue. And he's going to be locked in at one end, and he's going to do his job as always, and he's going to get this turn and bounce off the surface. Certainly going to be a threat for New Zealand. How do they combat him? How do they go about their business when it comes to facing Lyon? Akash says, do you think the ICC is the reason for the slow progress with no teams becoming full member nations in 2023? And do you think this might be the reason for the slow progression of growth in cricket? That's a very good question, Akash. I'll get back to that in a minute. Nathan Lyon is in to Williamson, and this one, Williamson, he's out! He's gone! Yes, he is gone, is he? Murray Erasmus is walking. He didn't raise the finger, but Williamson's walking off. He's gone. He got a bit of bat on that to leg slip. And New Zealand lose their second wicket. It's the big wicket of Kane Williamson. Nathan Lyon does it again. He just tried to work it around the corner. Yeah, inside edge, off the face of the bat. Easy catch for Steve Smith at leg slip. Nathan Lyon strikes again. And New Zealand have lost their mainstay at the crease. Williamson gone for 9. It's 2 for 35. Australia need 8 wickets to win. Well, don't put it past being finished tonight. That's a big wicket. Williamson, he's had a terrible test match from his standards. Excellent from Lyon. He likes bowling with that leg slip, that line on leg stump, looking for batters just to work him off the face of the bat down the leg side. Unfortunately for Williamson, it was his undoing. So he's got to go. That brings Rachin Ravinder to the crease. He got out for a duck in the first inning, so he's on a pair. He got caught by Nathan Lyon at point, which was a very good catch. He comes out. He's got a double century, Rachin Ravinder, against South Africa recently, but this is a big test. Batting last, up against the Australian attack, up against Nathan Lyon, who's spinning it. Not going to be easy. Have a look at the replay of this. This one spun on the line of the stumps. Williamson tried to work it around the corner, but unfortunately got a bit of an edge on that, and he did. And Steve Smith was ready and waiting at leg slip. Jubilation on the face of the Australians. New Zealand lose their second. 2 for 9 for Lyon. It's been a superb performance from him in this test match. 6 wickets thus far. Rachin Ravinder, hopes of New Zealand rest on his shoulders on this young man. Been really impressed with how he's gone about things, but this is going to be a big test. He's on a pair. The Australians are up and about. Nathan Lyon changing his field around. Good attacking field from Australia. I like this. I like the fielder on the offside. Silly point. Get one on the offside. You got 369 on the board. They're 2 for 35. I like that from Cummins. 2 slips and a silly point. Line in. This one left by Ravinder. Outside off stump, no run. Good delivery from Lyon. Well, for New Zealand, they've had opportunities in this test match. They can only blame themselves for not capitalizing on these opportunities. Lyon in. And this one, Ratchin backs away and gets a single through the covers. And he's off the mark. He's off the pair. New Zealand in a bit of trouble. 2 for 36, chasing 369. It's a tough order, tough ask for New Zealand in this test match. Australia yet again producing their dominance over New Zealand yet again. Line in, this time around the wicket to Young. And he defends comfortably on the front foot, no run. Yes, back to your question, Akash. I couldn't agree more, but it's just the way the ICC are. They don't seem to be proactive or willing to, promote and grow the game in certain aspects. I think that's clear. Line in. And this one left alone by Young down the leg side. Good take from Carey, no run. But to the people I've spoken to about that very issue in the Associate Cricket Series that we've done on the podcast, they all say the same thing. They all say the same when it comes to that question. They would like to see that improved by the ICC going forward. This one left alone by Young. It's the end of the over, 2 for 36. So I couldn't agree more, but I don't think we'll see any new members anytime soon. It's often very hard to become a new member these days. The ICC are not willing to do that. So I think it will be probably some time before we see any movement on that front. But a good question nonetheless. John says it's a huge effort from Lyon, who seems fairly innocuous as a spinner, but he's a quiet achiever. Yeah, that's right, John, he is. Quiet achiever. He keeps it simple, but very effective. And he's got 500 test wickets to prove that. And he's been around for a while now. Lyon doing the job again. Jihan says this has been a bad game for Williamson. Oh, it has. It's been terrible. Got run out and made a low score in the second innings. You got a feel for Williamson, but anyway, that's just the way it goes. The cricket gods are not quite with Williamson in this test match. Well, he's going to be playing his 100th test match in the next test, Kane Williamson. So he'll want a better performance there. Cummins in. This one full defended by Ravinder, no run. And Jihan says apparently all the Kiwi fans are confident because Wellington flattens out into a belter on days 3 and 4. Yeah, well, that's generally the case in New Zealand. The pitches do get better to bat on. The grass on the pitch can be a bit, that can be a bit of a, what's the word? I'm trying to think of the word. A lot of people get sucked into that. Oh, it's green. It's going to do all, it's going to be unplayable on that. But it's not the case in New Zealand. Cummins in. This one short ball by Ravinder. And he'll get a boundary, a deep backward square leg for 4. And he's got his first boundary. It's generally the case in New Zealand. It does get better and better. And that grass doesn't really have much of an effect. But on this surface, it hasn't been plain sailing. It's produced some up and down bounce. Ball has done a bit of spin. So it's not a flat pitch by any means. John says, I can remember Adam Voges boasting his average there. Yes, he scored 200. And he got bowled, Adam Voges, in that test match, but it was not called a no ball. But it was a no ball, but he got lucky with that. Adam Voges. Australia piled on the runs. Usman Khawaja made 140 as well in 2016, and Australia won by an innings in plenty. I think they won by an innings in 52 runs. I think I said that in my preview. Cummins in. This one tucked off the hit by Ravinder to deep backward square leg to pick up a single. Yeah, Australia scored some big runs in that series. They scored 500 twice. Voges double century here at the Basin Reserve. Khawaja's got 140. Smith got a century in the second test. Joe Burns got 170 odd in the last test of that series, where Brendan McCullum scored the fastest ever test century in his 100th and final test match. And that's where Josh Hazelwood had a bit of an incident with the umpire. Not happy about an LBW decision at the time, which is well documented. Cummins in. And this one defended by Young to the offside, no run. Joey says from New World Cricket, could countries just schedule their own test matches without ICC approval? I love this format, but wish I could watch my country play. Well, often, in cricket's a bit different. You often agree with boards. That's always been the traditional method where you agree with a cricket board. We're going to play a test series here and there. You tour us. We're going to tour your go back and forth. So we go and visit your country, you go and visit our country, and that's the way it's been for many years. And that's how cricket's been planned for years anyway. You organise with other cricket boards to play series, and that's always been the case since day dot. But you do need ICC approval. Obviously, it has to go through the proper channels. When it comes to that sort of thing, Cummins in. And this one defended by Young, no run. It's the end of the over. 2 for 41 for New Zealand. Australia well on top. New Zealand under pressure. Yet again, the batting has been a bit scratchy. You can also say that about Australia as well, but that's been well documented. But New Zealand just crumbling in this test match. The second innings was a disaster. The first innings was a disaster. Bowled out for 179. Under 200. And already 2 for 41 here. So judging by the scores thus far, you would think this could be a low-scoring innings for New Zealand, judging by how the scores have gone in this match thus far. So New Zealand need a further 320-odd runs to win. That looks a far, far away task. Nathan Lyon about to bowl his over, and he's going to be bowling to Ravinder, who's on strike. Marnus Labuschagne getting the pads on. He's going to be in there at short leg or silly point. No, he's at a second slip. Lyon in. This one edged in. Oh. Was it dropped by Labuschagne or did it carry to second slip? Judging by the reaction, it probably did carry, maybe, or just fell short on the half volley. Let's have a look. Outside edge from Ravinder. Just not carrying to the second slip in Labuschagne. Line in. Backs away, Ravinder. Cuts it to point. Cover point, and there's no run. He's got to be careful, Ravinder. You'll know that he's up against Nathan Lyon. Quality spinner. Ball turning a bit. He's got to try and combat that. Lyon over the wicket, in. This one again, Ravinder backs away, give himself room to the offside. Yet again, he hits it straight to cover point. No run. Lyon in again. This one outside edge or past second slip again. He's flirting with danger. Ravinder. Nathan Lyon bowling good areas. The off stump line. Turning the ball away from the left-hander. Ravinder. Doesn't look comfortable to Lyon at this stage. Lyon in again. This one, Ravinder backs away, cuts it through backward point. Won't quite go to the boundary. Young Cameron Green will cut it off. They'll come back for just a couple of runs. He's had a wonderful test match, Cameron Green. I can't describe how well he played. It's definitely the best he's played thus far in his career. It was an important knock. And hopefully, he can build off this. It was a superb knock. Deserved a 200. In my opinion, but what a partnership he had with Josh Hazelwood. Reminded us of Jason Gillespie and Glenn McGrath's partnership against New Zealand in 2005 at the Gabba. And also reminded us of Michael Hussey and Glenn McGrath in Melbourne against South Africa, that 10th wicket partnership against the Proteas. But he did his job, Josh Hazlewood, and supported Green superbly. Line in. This one defended by Ravinder. No run. It's the end of the over. It's 2 for 43. Good over from Line again. Testing Ravinder, who seems a little bit uncomfortable to Nathan Lyon, especially in that last over. A few plays and misses, got the outside edge a few times. Ball turning difficulty for New Zealand at this stage. Australia on the attack. Josh Hazlewood back into the attack. Speaking of Josh, batted well in the first innings. As I mentioned, he's back in the attack. And he's about to start this 15th over for New Zealand in their fourth innings. Fourth innings of this match, I should say, but second innings for New Zealand. 2 overs, none for 8, Hazlewood. Possibility that it could finish today. If Australia get these last 8 wickets, it'll be quite an emphatic victory if that's the case. Possibility, though, New Zealand were looking to prevent that. Hazlewood in. That one left alone by Young. A little bit indecisive whether to play or leave, but in the end he left. And there's no run. Good from Hazlewood. Right on the money, first ball. 369, the target. Not too many teams have chased that down, especially in the fourth innings of a test match. Nathan Lyon looks pretty happy and content. He's got 2 wickets, bowling really well. Can't wait for his next over to get another opportunity. Here's Hazlewood in. This one again left alone by Young. Outside his off stump. No run. John says, we have a real problem. Run rate. Scoring slowly in the top 4. I suppose so. It's a bit different now without David Warner. So, yeah, Australia will definitely talk about that. That's for sure. Yeah, obviously when David Warner, you had that aggression at the top of the order. You had that run rate that was high. Now he's retired. It's a bit different now. So Australia have to adjust to that. Hazlewood again. This one left alone by Young outside his off stump. No run again. Australia looking for a couple more wickets here. They can pick up a couple more. 4 wickets down here. Probably get them 5 down. Be a good result. Certainly make a dent into this New Zealand batting lineup. I want to get half of them out tonight. You would think maybe a bit more. Hazlewood in. And this one left alone again by Young outside his off stump. And again, there is no run. Pat Cummins. First time he's playing a test in New Zealand. Pat Cummins. Same with Mitchell Starc as well. Playing their first test matches in New Zealand. And already Cummins will be delighted with how things have gone thus far. 2 wickets already. Hazlewood in. This one again left alone by Young. There's no run. Prepared to play the patience game, Young. He's not prepared to play aggressively at this stage. Looking to dig in and to survive. So here we go again. Josh Hazlewood. In again. And this one defended by Young to the leg side. No run. A maiden from Hazlewood. It's the end of the over. 2 for 43. Good start from Hazlewood. And building that pressure nicely with this maiden over. Will Young, watchful, looking to dig in, not really wanting to up the scoring rate at this stage, given that New Zealand don't want to lose a few more wickets tonight. Rachin Ravinder will be on strike to Nathan Lyon to start a new over. He's had a few problems, Ravinder to Lyon thus far. Ball turning, a lot of plays and misses. Some come off the outside edge. Australia definitely in the game. Nathan Lyon using the conditions well, as he always has. He's always been a good bowler for a lot of years, Nathan Lyon. So he's in again to start a new over. Lyon over the wicket. Plain a miss by Ravinder. Good take from Carey. There's no run. Prodding forward, Ravinder playing at that delivery, just missing the outside edge, not by much. That ball spinning away to the left-hander, Lyon in. This one short, Ravinder cuts to Cameron Green at cover, no run. Good pressure by Australia, just to build up some dots, build up some maidens. Get that next wicket if they can. 2 for 12. For Lyon, good start from him. He's in again, Lyon. This one, turn it away from Ravinder. Lets it go outside his off stump, and there's no run. Australia waiting for this next wicket. Nathan Lyon probing. Couple of slips. Lyon in. And this one defended by Ravinder to point, backward point. Travis Head there, no run. New Zealand got to dig in here if they can. Got to show some fight. It's a tough ask, but what can they do? Lyon is in. And again, left alone by Ravinder outside his off stump, and there's no run. Nathan Lyon probing. You can sense a wicket is developing here. Patience is the order of the day. Here's Lyon in. And this one defended by Ravinder. Trickles out to the offside, and there's no run. It's the end of the over. 2 for 43. Another maiden for Australia, building the dots, which is building pressure at the same time. Nathan Lyon. Wicket taker for Australia early today, picking up the 2 wickets. We'll be hoping for another one as Hazlewood continues. None for 8. Misley, as always, Hazlewood, not conceding runs, bowling good, line and length, creating pressure. And he will be hoping to do that in this over here as he bowls to Young to start this over. He's in. Young drives through covers. Pick up 2, come back for a third potentially. No, they just settle for the 2. He moves on to 15. John says, problem is we have a good side on paper, but the performance just isn't there, even with Warner's retirement. No one is stepping up to push things along early. Puts too much pressure on the middle order. Yeah, I think everyone's in different patches of form at the moment. Not everyone can be in 100% form all the time. I think we just have to be realistic about that. Hazlewood in. This one left alone by Young, and there's no run. Back to your point, John. Yeah, I agree. Does put on pressure. We saw that in the first innings. And, you know, it goes back to what I said, is that not everyone can be in form. So you've got to try and work out these issues that Australia have with their batting at the moment. Players have got to work out their own games. You know, they're good enough to do that. Hazlewood in. This one full. Young defends the offside. No run. So it's definitely a problem for Australia at the moment. The top order, 1, 2, and 3 are not really producing the big scores. We saw that from Cameron Green. At least, he got that big 100, which you want on a consistent basis. And he's the only one that's really batted well in this test match. Very superb innings from him. Very impressed by the way he played. Hazlewood is in. Yet again, defended by Young. No run again. Hazlewood building pressure. The conservative one. Thank you for your comment. Don't believe I've seen you before in our streams, but welcome if this is your first time. You say you deserve to get a contract in documentary. By the way, your interviews are really valuable historical documents. Thank you. In commentary, that was. Thank you. Yes. Not the first one to mention that, but thank you for that kind compliment. Hazlewood is in and Young defends. And there's no run. But thank you. Glad you're enjoying the podcast and our interviews with guests as well. We've been flat out interviewing lots of people of late, so that's why it's been a long time between drinks when it comes to the streams. The last stream we did was the World Cup final last year, so it's been a while. But obviously I have a bit of time to do a stream today. But thank you for your kind words, the conservative one. Hazlewood is in. This one left alone again by Young. It's the end of the over, 2 for 45. "17 overs completed. New Zealand face an uphill battle. It's like climbing Mount Everest. You can see the top, but can you really get to the top? It's difficult, if I can use that analogy. That's what it feels like at the moment. Australia definitely on the top of Mount Everest at the moment. They're miles on top. Or should I say Mount Wellington, actually, because they are playing in Wellington, and that's in the background. Line will continue. Jihan says, I completely agree. No matter how flawed Bazball is, I just can't see a scenario where England are 200 ahead and Crawley and Duckett come out and scratch around. No, they're definitely not going to do that. It's not in their nature at the moment, England, but quite an interesting series over there in India and England. India winning the series, England not doing themselves any favours. Line is in. Outside edge from Ravinder, trickles out to backward point, no run. He's probing Nathan Lyon. Ravinder doesn't look comfortable to Lyon at the moment. Lyon is in, around the wicket to Ravinder. Defends to point, no run. John says, Marnus is in horrible form. Usman is being slow, even by his standards, not going on with his innings. Smith is compensating as an opener for these short fails. Green is 2-0 at number 4 for asserting. Lyon is in, and this one jumps and bounces. Surprises Ravinder. Good take from Carey again. There's no run. Nathan Lyon will be liking that extra bounce and turn away from the left-hander. This is good stuff. New Zealand in a contest. Can they fight through it? Can they, even though if they do go down and they get bowled out, can they show a bit of fight and ticker? That's the question. From their fans. Line is in. Cut by Ravinder. He gets it through the fielder at point and it will race away to deep point boundary for 4 runs. He moves on to 12. And New Zealand advance the score to 49 for 2. Good cut shot from Ravinder. Just a little bit short there from Lyon outside off stump. Got to put those away if you can. Cameron Green at cover point, diving to his right. Unfortunately, couldn't stop that from going to the boundary, but doesn't really matter, Australia, really. They've got enough runs on the board. 369 is plenty in New Zealand. Only 49 at this stage. Line is in. And this one, trap him on the pads. There's an appeal for LBW, turned down by umpire Erasmus. Lyon in consultation with Carey and Cummins. They've got 2 reviews left, Australia. They've already burnt one. They've gone upstairs for this one. So a DRS review, LBW to Ravinder. Maybe going down the leg side. It looked good online. Pitching was, whether it pitched in line is the question. It looked pretty good to me. But we have to look at the replay and see how it will go. Let's have a look. Looked pretty good. Where did it hit? Where did it pitch? Oh, it definitely pitched in line with the stumps. Oh, it's hit him on the toe. Now then, that's interesting. It's hit him on the toe off the front foot. Oh, yeah. Clear gap between the bat and the ball. Clearly hit the toe first, I think. Yeah, it did brush the toe there. So, it did definitely pitch in line. Oh, dear, Ravinder. It looks like he's in a bit of trouble. As an umpire, if you assume that the ball's hit him on the full, you assume that the ball's going to go on and hit the stumps. That's a bit of an umpiring tip I can give because I am an umpire, so I know how these things operate. Definitely toe first. Definitely pitched in line with the stumps. Not given by Murray Erasmus. Maybe he thought there was an inside edge, but there wasn't. Ball tracking now. Here we go. Pitching in line. Impact in line. Oh, missing. Not by much on the leg stump. Oh, it looked pretty good, but just missing that leg stump. Not by much. So in the end, good decision by Murray Erasmus. Australia have got 1 review left. Looked pretty good. So you don't blame Australia for going upstairs to that one. Definitely hit him on the toe first. Whether or not it did too much, which it did, turned a little bit too much for Lyon there to hit the leg stump. But Nathan Lyon looks threatening. That's will give him plenty of confidence. Plenty of confidence indeed. Lyon in. Ravinder cuts it out to green at point. They'll scamper through for a single. And there's no damage done there in the over for New Zealand. He survives Ravinder. It's the end of the over, 2 for 50 as New Zealand advance their score. Looking to hunker down if they can. Not going to be easy though. Ravinder being tested by Lyon in that over. Got away with an LBW decision there. Just missing the leg stump. Not by much. Coat advantage. Coat of varnish. All it was. Not far away. But it definitely looked good. Especially to the naked eye. Definitely looked good. Just missing that leg stump. As we have a look on the replay again. Yeah. Not by much. It's close. Not by much. Definitely encouraging signs for Nathan Lyon. That's for sure. After all that excitement, we can get to your comment, John. You say, sorry, I already read it. I was just going to try and answer it. Yeah. So definitely Australia's batting lineup definitely have some thinking to do. Hazelwood is in. This one defended by Ravinder, no run. Definitely some thinking to do for them going forward. But Australia do have a long break from test matches. They don't play another test until the Australian summer, and that will be against India. So they have a long time to, think about these things after their long break. Akash says, today we have an interesting match. Netherlands versus Nepal. Hope Max O'Dowd is back in form. Yeah, it's been quite interesting. Hazelwood is in. This one full, driven to fielder at cover. No run by Ravinder. Joey says from New World Cricket, Erasmus is 5 for 5 on reviews. Yeah, he's a pretty good umpire, Murray Erasmus. He's pretty good. He's one of the best in the world. So I'm not surprised by that 100% strike rate. It was a good decision in the end. Just turned a little bit too much. Just needed to hold its line. And unfortunately, it just went on a little bit with the spin there. Hazelwood is in. This one full inside edge by Ravinder. Gets it down to fine leg for 4. Mitchell Stark overran it. And he'll pick up a boundary, Ravinder. Not convincing off the inside edge, but he'll pick up the 4 runs. Doesn't matter how they come, at least you pick it up and get these runs for New Zealand's sake. Yeah, inside edge. nearly back onto the stumps, but he got away with it. John says, nah, DRS can't work that properly. Just went without the spin. Well, that's the way the system goes, really. With ball tracking, it's a prediction. And that's just the way the system goes. Mitchell Starc copping it from the crowd after misfielding that ball. Some fans giving him some stick. Hazelwood in again, and this one left alone outside off stump by Ravinder, and there's no run. Australia looking to get this third breakthrough in this last session. Picked up the wicket of Williamson. They'll be hoping for another couple here at least. 5 down. Get New Zealand 5 or 6 down tonight. That's a good result. Possibility of that happening, given that the new ball's doing a bit. There's something in this pitch. Ball's turning. Hazelwood is in. This one tucked off the hip by Ravinder. He will pick up a single down to Mitchell Starc at fine leg. Mitchell Starc doing the fine leg to fine leg fielding as he runs across as Will Young, the right-hander, comes on strike. Doing the hard yards. We may see him back with the ball very shortly. 2 for 55. New Zealand. Slow and steady from them. Under pressure. Up against this Australian bowling attack. Hazelwood is in. And this one full defended by Young. And there is no run. He's 15 off 49, Young. And that's the end of the over. It's 2 for 55. So New Zealand advancing their score steadily after 19 overs of this innings. And they still need 314 runs to win. That's a daunting number. Already lost 2 wickets. Australia just need 8 wickets to wrap it up. It's pretty much in favour of them in terms of winning this test match. Taking a 1-0 series lead before they go to Christchurch for the second test at Hagley Oval, which will be on the 8th of March. And that will be next week. So Nathan Lyon to continue. 7 overs now into his 8th over. He's bowled well, 2 for 17. Batted well today as well. Got 41 with the bat, so he's full of confidence, Nathan Lyon. And Ravinder. He's had a difficult time of it to Lyon. Lyon is in. Ravinder leaves. And there is no run. Nathan Lyon getting some turn. Good turn, good spin. Be hoping to get another one here. Line is in. Ravinder slaps this. He slaps it past mid-off for 4. He backed away to leg stump, give himself room to slap it through the offside, and he got it to the boundary. He moves on to 22. Nathan Lyon just a bit short on that time. Ravinder good enough to dispatch that to the boundary. So New Zealand looking to be positive at the same time, but also Australia won't mind that. Australia won't be concerned with that boundary in the over. They've got New Zealand 2 for 59. It's all about taking the 8 wickets. Here's Lyon again. And this one defended by Ravinder, no run. Nathan Lyon, can he add a few more wickets to his tally tonight? He's already got 2 already. He wants another few wickets here. Lyon is in, and this one is defended by Ravinder. Goes out to that second slip, and there's no run. sun peeking through the clouds here in Wellington. Line in, and this one defended by Ravinder off the outside edge. He'll trickle out to the offside for no run. One ball left in this 20th over. Nathan Lyon asking questions, as he always does. Responding well to Ravinder here. Ravinder up to the challenge. Lyon is in. This one defended by Ravinder. No runs into the over, 2 for 59. After 20, New Zealand looking just to bat time, really. Bat time and try and get through today if they can unscathed. But Australia pick up another couple of wickets here and there, get them 5 down tonight, maybe 6 at best. I think that's a good result for Australia. Get into the tail, which didn't last long for New Zealand in their first innings. The tail, they pretty collapsed in a quick heap, except for Matt Henry, who batted reasonably well. So, Josh Hazlewood out of the attack. It's going to be Travis Head who's going to bowl. He's not bad, Travis Head, as a part-time off-spinner. He's got 11 wickets at an average of 30-odd in Test match cricket. So not bad from Cummins, just to try spin from both ends, see what Travis Head can do and provide a wicket. You can usually break through Travis Head, essentially the golden arm. We saw that last summer. We got rid of Babur Azam in Sydney. Jihan says, what do you think of England complaining about Joe Root's LBW? Apparently they think if 51% pitches in line, it should be umpire's call. So you go on to add on to that, Jihan. You say, it's like saying Finn Nicks shouldn't be out. The thick ones. Yeah, that's created a lot of debate, the LBWs, in terms of umpires call and that. Head in, and this one, Young, hits it straight to Labuschagne at short leg, and there's no run. Yeah, it's an interesting debate, isn't it? Umpires call, LBWs, DRS, all that stuff. Head in, this one left alone outside off stump by Young, no run. My thoughts on it is, it's the same for everyone, basically. Everyone plays with the same system. Edge to taken. What a catch! What a catch from Steve Smith. One-handed at slip. Young is gone, and Travis Head provides the breakthrough Australia needed. Outstanding from Steve Smith at slip. He takes these remarkable catches. Excellent from Smith at slip. He was on the front foot. Young, enticed into playing the shot. Bit of turn, outside edge. Smith gobbles it up with the one hand. And New Zealand lose their third. Will Young's got to depart, unfortunately, for 15. It's 3 for 59. Australia needs 7 wickets to win. His long stay at the crease, Young, for 52 balls comes to an end. Got a bit complacent with the part-timer in head. He can get a breakthrough. We've seen that from him over the years, and I'm not surprised that he picked up a wicket in his first over. And Daryl Mitchell will now come out to the middle. And he's got a big job on his hands. And so does New Zealand. They're 3 down. Things looking dicey again. He has to say about that, Jihan, about umpire's call. This wasn't even umpire's call, though. It was just about, it was just out. Yeah, with the decision, yeah. Look, the ICC, they've changed a lot of things with ball tracking, umpire's call and all that. It's a part of the system, so I don't think it's going to go anytime soon. I think we just have to put up with it. It's a part of the system, and what the ICC want is to try and keep that human element side towards the technology as well. And at the end of the day, you can't get it 100% all the time. So there is some doubt. That's just the way it goes with technology in cricket. It's not 100% or clear cut. Head in, this one reverse swept by Mitchell. out to Mitchell Marsh at backward point, and there's no run. So I think we know what Daryl Mitchell's intentions are. He's going to play his shots. He's already played a reverse sweep first ball. Bit risky if he misses it. Trapped in front for an LBW. Head in, this one. Played back on the back foot by Mitchell. Defends, no run. G. Hunt says the bin lid. Yes, Travis Head. I don't know why we call him the bin lid, but picks up a wicket. Good move from Pat Cummins. Yeah, good catch from Smith too. Head in. And this one defended to cover by Mitchell. No run. It's the end of the over. Successful over for Head. It's 3 for 59. New Zealand slump further and further behind in this match. And yet again, once they establish a partnership, they lose a wicket. Just really a nothing shot from Young, really. Just, it didn't turn much. He just propped on the front foot and just played at that ball outside off stump, really. Excellent catch from Smith. Australia, that's been the noticeable difference is the catching. New Zealand dropped a couple of catches today. Australia have been on song with the catches. They've caught 3 from 3. Two from Smith and 1 from Gary. Australia, they would dearly like another couple. Get them 5 down and get into the tail if they can as soon as possible. But really for New Zealand, it's just yet again, the bat, it's just gone not their way. It's been a very poor test match from their standards. Their fans are not happy, judging by the reaction from everyone across the Tasman. Certainly not happy. They're calling for the coach to be sacked. They're calling for Neil Wagner to return. They're calling for Tim Southey to retire as well. So clearly not happy with the performance, and that's fair enough. You get frustrated, but line in, this one, uppishly played by Ravinder, just falling short of Marsh at that backward point. There's no run. John says, who said Smith is playing with eyes painted on? Well, he's a pretty good slip fielder, that's for sure, Smith. He's taken well over 150 test catches now. Line in, and this one defended by Ravinder to the offside. No run. John says, I think Trav called himself the bin lid. No idea why. Yeah, it's quite a weird nickname, isn't it, John? Well, there's some weirder ones out there in cricket. Here's line in, and this one, defended by Ravinder, but the ball just ricocheted off his pad, nearly back onto the stumps. Luckily for him, it didn't disturb the timber. Gian says, yeah, I think England were just whining as usual. That route one didn't even need umpire's call. It pitched in line, only just, but should be out enough. Yeah, that route one, yeah, that did create the controversy. This one, left alone by Ravinder, pitched outside leg by Miles from line, and Ravinder just got behind it with the body. There's no run. Yeah, the Joe Root one, yeah, I know Michael Vaughan was a bit cranky about that one, whether it pitched in line with the stumps, but it's just the technology. It's just the way it is. But it looked out to me, when I saw it. So, you're going to get these discussions, and maybe it's something for the ICC just to look at and just to improve, I suppose, the system. This one, again, defended by Ravinder, no run. Here we go, line in again. This one cut away by Ravinder, and only a single to the fielder at deep cover. For one, it's the end of the over, 3 for 60. G. Hunt says, I would get rid of umpire's call, but if they're going to insist on having it, the margins have to be smaller. They were way too big at the moment for umpire's call. 49% of the ball diameter is huge margin of error. Yeah. Maybe they could do some adjustments to it. They've done a few adjustments to it over the years. So you can definitely improve it. Look, you can definitely make it better, but I don't think what we can do to make it better than it is already. So it's something for Hawkeye and Virtual Eye to work out. They're the ones behind the whole system when it comes to ball tracking. That's the thing in cricket, is that it's a prediction. In tennis, they use Hawkeye. You actually know where the ball actually landed. So that's the actual path of the ball. Whereas in cricket, you don't have that. It's a prediction, which is the thing that people need to remember at the end of the day. And pretty much that's what it is. We've been doing that for years when it comes to the game of cricket with LBWs. It's just a prediction. Head continues. This one worked up the pads by Ravinder behind square on the leg side, pick up a single. So that's just the way it is, really. Yes, to say Jihan. I think it's because he was catching the ball at short leg like a crocodile, and that got changed to bin lid. Swallows everything. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, fair enough. Head is in. Mitchell squirts it out to the offside for a quick single. He's off the mark. John says the whinging Poms. Yes, well, we've heard that quite a few times over the last few years. Australia, well on top. They're 7 wickets away from retaining the Trans-Tasman Trophy. Head is in. And this one defended by Ravinder, no run. Head is in. This one defended straight back to the bowler by Ravinder, no run. Travis Head does well to get a hand on that to prevent any runs. Well, Australia would dearly like another wicket here. 4-5 down will be a good place to be. And Head is in. This one defended on the back foot by Ravinder. There is no run. 369 is the target for New Zealand. They're 3 for 62, so it's a long way away as Head is continuing. This one driven by Ravinder. Can't get it past mid-on, and there's no run. It's the end of the over, 3 for 62. Tidy over from Travis Head. Just the 2 runs off it. 23 overs completed, 3 for 62 New Zealand. They have lost 3 wickets in the second innings. Latham, Williamson, and Will Young just before in that order. It's been a very interesting test match. We've seen some good cricket. And we have to say some indifferent batting at times. That has to be said. Gian says, I would love to watch umpires call being used in tennis with John McEnroe playing. You cannot be serious, Jihan. You cannot be serious. Yeah, John McEnroe. Well, it would be interesting if that happens in tennis with, the prediction and the path of the ball. So I don't think he would agree many times, John McEnroe. Not a bad tennis player, but could easily lose his temper with umpires' decision, or in terms of the umpires' decisions and that. But it's a different system. It's much easier in tennis. It's clear cut. You know where the ball actually landed, whereas in cricket, it's just a prediction, and that's the difficult thing. Line in, reverse swept by Mitchell, nearly got an edge and a glove. Good take from Carey again. That's a risky shot for Mitchell, playing that reverse sweep to Nathan Lyon. Oh, nearly got a bit of bat and glove on that. Good take from Carey. I've been really impressed with Carey's keeping. Excellent take down the leg side. Whips off the bails, but Mitchell was well in his crease. Nathan Lyon. He's looking for a third one here. It's all been the spinners taking the wickets today. 2 to line, 1 to Head. Line in. Mitchell defends to the leg side. No run. Jihan says, Travis Head has really improved his bowling. A good option to have in the 4th innings of a test match. Yeah, he's not bad. He's always bowled for South Australia as well, Travis Head. So, well, he would be because he's captain of South Australia. So, of course, he's going to put himself on. Line in. This one, off the edge of the bat. Trickles behind square on the leg side by Mitchell, and there's no run. Not looking comfortable, Mitchell, to the spin of Lyon. Let's have a look. Replay here. Oh, came off. Was it the edge? Bit of glove. Played forward to it and nearly brought about his downfall. Line is in. This one's swept by Mitchell. Down to fine leg. Travis Head in pursuit. He will cut it off for a couple of runs at least. Sorry, it's Usman Khawaja, sorry. Usman Khawaja cuts it off for a couple. And two more to the score for New Zealand. Jihan says, I noted Marnus got 360s last summer. He's not going on with it like he used to. Yeah, he did. He got 360s last summer. Yeah, that's right. Line in. This one, left alone by Mitchell, turns away from him down the leg side. Good take from Carey. There's no run. Yeah, he did. Marnus, what's going on in that brain of his? Too many things, I think. I think he's just worried about getting out for a start. I think the long break after the series would do the world of good for Marnus, just to go back and just, reassess. This one defended by Mitchell to the leg side. No runs. The end of the over, 3 for 64. Another testing, probing over from Nathan Lyon, providing some chances and half chances. Yeah, Marnus, he had a good start to his career. And obviously, look, he's in that patch where just go through a bit of a dry spell. And he's probably in that patch at the moment. So Australia don't play another test series for another few months, not until the home summer against India. So he's got a few months to think about it, Marnus. Just needs to keep it simple, not overcomplicate things. I think he's worrying about getting out. He's a bit tentative. And he's not really putting away poor deliveries like half volleys or something like that. He's going back to them. So he's in that sort of mentality at the moment, knowing that, I've got a few low scores. I don't want to get out again. That's a part and parcel of the game when you're batting. You're going to make a mistake, going to get out, going to get a good ball. But keep it simple. Just go out there, see the ball, react to it, and play it accordingly. So he's not quite doing that, Marnus. So, but he's he's a deep thinker on the game. So he'll definitely look at that and think about these little things, like Steve Smith does as well. So anyway, drinks in this last session of this day 3 between New Zealand and Australia. Definitely a good time for New Zealand to have a drinks break because they're in a spot of bother at the moment. Australia well on top. Couple more wickets tonight, hopefully. Maybe 3 more. Get him 6 down. New Zealand 3 for 60 odd. At drinks. The wickets to fall, Latham cutting a short delivery from line outside off stump. Didn't quite execute that cut shot well. It was a brilliant take from Gary behind the stumps. He was the first to go just before tea in that second session. And then the next wicket to fall in this session was Williamson. Tried to tuck it around the corner. Got a bit of a glove and bat on it. Straight to Steve Smith at leg slip. He took a comfortable catch. And then Travis Head got the last wicket of Will Young. He just prodded forward to a delivery, got the outside edge, not much turn, and Steve Smith took an excellent one-handed catch at slip to his left. And New Zealand 3 down, chasing 369. Definitely Australia well on top. It's definitely Australia's test match to win. Jihan says, do you think Green is the permanent solution to number 4? Interesting question, Jihan. I think what we saw in this innings from him, I think potentially he could be a good option going forward. He does it for WA in Sheffield Shield cricket. He came off 100 in the Shield before this Test series. So he can definitely do it. I don't think, what we saw in this innings, his belief, he started to believe that he can actually do it at this level. He played really well. So, yeah, I see why not. Australia really want him to be in the side for the reason that we saw in the first innings, because he can do that. So it's just about giving that confidence and giving him that reassurance that you're the guy for this role. So it's early days, but if he continues to build off this innings, then definitely I think he could be a good solution at number 4. And he's a very talented player. We saw that in the first innings of this test. His 100's going to be a match-winning 100. Cummins back into the attack. Ravinder works it to the offside for a quick single. First runs after drinks. John says Green is being groomed at 4. Time will tell. It'll take a while. It's a new role for him. You don't expect him to feel comfortable at the start. But this century, it will definitely boost his confidence. And it was a very good knock. It really was. It was a good innings. It was a terrific knock. And, should have got 200. He was on track to do that. Some of the shots he played, some of those sixes that he pulled and hooked. And New Zealand's tactics were all over the place, to be honest. You would think with Tim Southey being a bowling captain, you would think he'll have better tactics. And they were just all over the shop. He batted well with Josh Hazlewood, and that was a very handy partnership, really. Cummins in, and this one defended by Mitchell, no run. So definitely, time will tell with Cameron Green. But this 100, definitely his best 100 out of the 2. The one in India was on a flat pitch and Ahmedabad, but still that was a good achievement nonetheless, scoring 100 in India. But this one, in terms of the match situation, will definitely have to rate up there as probably one of the best innings he'll ever play in Test cricket, given the situation of this match. And that's why Australia are well in front in this game. Because of that, Cummins is in. This one, playing a miss from Mitchell. Pass his outside edge. No run. Bit of a rash shot from Mitchell. Cummins asking questions. That's how he got out in the first innings, Mitchell. Got out, caught behind. I believe it was to Pat Cummins as well. I think it was. He's 3 off 12, Mitchell, just beginning his innings. Cummins in again, and this one defended by Mitchell. No run. John says, if it hadn't been for Josh, Green wouldn't have got near 174 not out. No, that's right. He batted well, Josh Hazlewood. He did his role at number 11 superbly. But New Zealand allowed him to do that. The tactics were mind-blowing from New Zealand's point of view. And they, that really cost them really big time. And we all saw the result of that, really, as Cummins is in. This one traps Mitchell in front of the stumps. There's an appeal for LBW. Cummins was convinced. They've only got one review left, Australia, but Cummins decides not to review. Cummins definitely asking questions of Mitchell in this over. Let's have a look. Did he get a bit of bat on it or high? Yeah, maybe a little bit too high, maybe. Certainly trapped Mitchell on the crease. Yeah, maybe a little bit too high there. Anyway, Cummins decides to disregard that and continues. He's in, and this one, Mitchell works off his pads through square leg. He'll pick up just the single and ticks the score along to 66 for 3. Gian says, but he has such a huge reputation in Shield cricket, averages 57, I think. Jihan says he has been compared to Ricky Ponting by Greg Chappell. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. He's got talent, Green. And that's what he does in Sheffield Shield cricket. He's got a few 150s in Sheffield Shield cricket. I think his highest score is 170 odd. So definitely this innings has gone past his first-class best. But he's got the skills. He's got the potential. You just need to back him and believe in him. And he needs the confidence in him, I think. So I hope they can build off this innings. And we saw in the second innings, he looked a different player as well. He looked positive and got 30-odd runs, I think. So he's definitely brimming with confidence at the moment, which is good. Good to see as Lyon continues around the wicket to the right-hander Mitchell, who defends. There's no run. Gee, Hunters, I feel like whenever he shows scoring intent, he looks good, but sometimes he gets really bogged down and goes nowhere. Yeah, that's the big difference in this innings. He had good intent. Oh no, mis-stumping. Lyon got one past Mitchell. He was advancing down the wicket. Carey wasn't able to pick up the ball cleanly. A mis-stumping opportunity. He was down the wicket, Mitchell. This one beating him on the inside edge. Carey just couldn't get the gloves in line with the ball to collect it. Just went past him. And Carey, he's kept well in this match, but that's the first blemish we've seen from him. Mitchell gets away with it. They will come through for a bye. Nathan Lyon asking questions. Creating chances. That can only be a good thing for Australia. Alex Carey just couldn't get the line off the ball there with the gloves. Anyway, Nathan Lyon will be hoping to get another opportunity here. Ravinder in, who just pads this away. It was outside leg stump and pads it away, and there's no run. John says, I think we have to stop thinking of Green as an all-rounder. Let him be a batter and a great fielder. Lyon is in, and this one defended to the offside by Ravinder, no run. Yeah, well, you would say at this present time that Australia would like to think that he could be an all-rounder, I think. That's definitely the plan, that's for sure. But only time will tell. Maybe he could be a batting all-rounder by the end of his career, bowl handy overs, part-time maybe. For Green, only time will tell on that front. Lyon is in. And that one defended by by Ravinder's the offside, no run. John says it did hit Mitchell on the thigh. Can't blame Carey for that one. No, he did well, Carey, to try and get his gloves there, but he's kept well in this test match, Keir, so I think we can let him off with that one. That's the end of the over. Defended by Ravinder, no run. And it's 3 for 67. Nathan Lyon creating some chances in that last over and nearly got a stumping off Mitchell as well. But no, he's done pretty well, Kez, in this test match. He's really kept well and especially kept well to Nathan Lyon as well. So he'll be disappointed about not trying to complete that stumping. But as we have a look at the replay again, yeah, just sort of went down the leg side there and couldn't readjust to go back to the offside there, Carey. So Cummins continues, and this one defended by Mitchell to cover, no run. But he's done a pretty good job, Carey. He's caught well, kept well, and he's really improved his keeping over the last few months. So good to have a keeper like that behind the stumps that takes these chances. And obviously in a cricket team, you need a good keeper, especially behind the stumps, to take those opportunities when they arise. As Cummins continues to Mitchell. And this one, again, collecting Mitchell on the pad. It trickles out to the offside. No run. Definitely Cummins asking questions of Mitchell in this over, as he did in the last over to Mitchell. That one just squaring Mitchell up a bit, collecting him on the thigh. So definitely not easy for Mitchell against Cummins at the moment here. He's 4 off 19. As Cummins, is in. And this one playing a miss past the outside edge from Cummins. And there is no run. He's bowled pretty well, the skipper. Not giving away too many runs and scoring opportunities for Mitchell here. Good delivery. It's again Mitchell just feeling for the ball. Hoping to get that outside edge, Pat Cummins. Not far away, though, from collecting the edge of that bat. Cummins again. In, and Mitchell defends to the leg side. No run. Yeah, sadly uncomfortable here, Mitchell to Cummins. He's jumping all over the place. Cummins asking good questions. This one, Cummins pulls out of his run. Has to re-bowl this one again. Something distracting, I should say. Mitchell behind the side screen. Jihan says, I went to the corresponding test match 8 years ago. I cannot believe it's been that long. The time has flown. Yeah, it has. 8 years ago. It's a long time. 2016 until now. It's been a long time that Australia played New Zealand in New Zealand. And yes, it's definitely been a long time between drinks, that's for sure. As Cummins is in, this one left alone by Mitchell. Outside off stump, no run. Gian says, I wonder if Josh Hazlewood checked the third umpire name before this match. Well, I'm pretty sure he did, I think. Yes. That was in the second test in Christchurch when that happened. Wasn't too happy with the decision by the third umpire on that occasion, the LBW. Can't remember who it was off, but he wasn't happy, Josh. Had a few words to say at the time. Cummins in, and this one. Work to the leg side for a single from Mitchell, and he gets off strike. As New Zealand tick the score along. It's the end of the over, 3 for 68. I still need 301 more runs, New Zealand, to win. Difficult chance indeed to try and chase down these runs. 3 down, they've got 7 wickets in hand. Australia pick up another couple of wickets here and get into the tail. I think Australia will be very happy with their day's work. Nathan Lyon picking up 2 wickets. Travis Head with the 1. So the spinners have done the damage for Australia. Just like Glenn Phillips did for New Zealand when he took his 5 wickets in the Australian second innings. Lyon is in. And this one turns away from Mitchell, lets it go. Pitched outside leg. Lets it go, hits him on the body. Goes to Steve Smith at that leg slip. And there's no run. Definitely a plan for Lyon here to go around the wicket to the right-hander and Mitchell. Looking to get that leg slip in play. This one down the leg side. Mitchell lets it go. No run. Nathan Lyon trying to get that line right. That field right leg slip to the right-hander, bowling around the wicket, looking to get him into the game. Mitchell sweeps. This delivery off line. He gets it past Carey. He'll race away to the boundary for buys, 4 of them. Didn't quite get a bat on that, Mitchell. Nearly did. But in the end, New Zealand get 4 buys because of that. Bit risky with the sweep shot there from Mitchell. Just not far away from the gloves. So he's got to be careful of that. Mitchell. Lyon is threatening. Lyon is in. This one played back by Mitchell. He works it to the leg side. No run. John says, just reinforces how poorly we play spin. I think that's the case with everyone, John, these days. Not only Australia, but New Zealand as well. and other teams around the world. I think that's the case. People do struggle with the spin. Line in. This one hits Mitchell on the pads, but it was well outside the line of leg stump. And he lets it go, and there's no run. Line is in. And this one defended by Mitchell. No run. It's the end of the over. 3-4-72. As Australia look to pick up another further 7 wickets to win. Lead this series 1-0 in the best of 2. Jihan says it was a Kane Williamson LBW, but the ball pitched outside leg. Don't know why Smith and Hazelwood got so angry. Oh, yes, it was. Yes, it was, Josh. Yes, it was Kane Williamson. Yes, I remember now. Yes, and it did pitch outside leg, yes. They weren't too happy about it, Hazelwood and Smith at the time. And not the finest moment for Josh Hazelwood. Anyway, it's water under the bridge, I suppose. But I think many people would remind him of that while on this tour of New Zealand, especially in Christchurch where it happened. That's where the next test will be played. Cummins is in. This one a short ball. Ducked under by Ravinder and a good take from Carey. There's no run. Australia looking to wrap up this test match. Well in control. New Zealand still need a further 300 more runs to win. They got 7 wickets in hand, and Australia just need those 7 wickets to wrap up this test. Pat Cummins looking to get his first wicket. He's in now, and this one outside edge and just wide of the second slip. Down to third man for 4. Not convincing from Ravinder. Steve Smith was in business again. And he's just indicating that it wasn't far away from my fingertips. That second slip, but Cummins got the outside edge. Ravinder gets away with it. Playing away from his body, just fishing outside off stump. Smith not far away from taking another superb catch. Just out of reach of the hand as it raced away to the boundary for 4. So you would say that's a win for Pat Cummins. Not convincing from Ravinder. Pat Cummins certainly testing the youngster. Cummins in again. And this one defended by Ravinder. No run. Jihan says, did you watch the first T20? I really enjoyed that one. Silencing the Kiwi commentators who were chirpy all game. Yeah, I did, Jihan. Yeah. It was a pretty good game. Australia chasing 215. Tim David doing what he did at Mitchell Marsh. It was a pretty good game of cricket. Unfortunately, I didn't watch the second innings of that game. So I missed the run chase, Jihan, because I was actually interviewing someone that day. So I had to go and do that. So I missed the second innings when it was on. So after I finished speaking to our guest that I was interviewing for our Associate Cricket Series episode, I had to watch the highlights of the run chase. And I couldn't believe Australia chased down the runs. I thought Australia were going to lose that game. This one tucked to the leg side by Ravinder, picks up a single. But a pretty good game of cricket. So Australia looking like settling on a squad for the T20 World Cup. They'll be pleased with that series result. New Zealand had their opportunities. 3-0 ain't a bad result for Australia. So, yeah, definitely good signs ahead of that T20 World Cup. Whether or not Steve Smith will be a part of it, that's a question as well. So tough questions for Australia to ask themselves going into that T20 World Cup. Cummins is in. Mitchell defends again. No run. Hello, Kumar. Hope you're well. Thanks for joining us. Yes, say Gihannes. Talking about Tim David, do you think he was a missed talent by WA system? He did play second 11 cricket for them, but they let him go. I'm not too sure, Jihan. I didn't really, well, no one really knew about him at that time, really. And that's why he went off to play for Singapore, because he's actually, his family's from there as well. His father's from there. I don't know. Maybe he wasn't suited to first-class cricket. Maybe it wasn't his game or style. And they thought, maybe he's best suited to the shorter formats of the game, which he clearly is. I don't know. I'm not sure about that one. Maybe he just wasn't suited to first-class cricket. That happens with some players. They're just not, they don't really get in rhythm or sync with the longer form of the game. That one, a short ball by Cummins and left alone comfortably by Mitchell. And there's no run. Send it over. 3 for 77. Probing over again from Australia. Pat Cummins asking questions, hoping to get the 4th wicket for Australia in what has been a very dominant performance up until this point. Jihan says they almost messed it up. They were ahead off the rate, but Inglis and Marsh started getting bogged down, and towards the end, then David came in and did the impossible. It was great. Yeah, it was. It was watching the highlights of it was pretty good. Unfortunately, I couldn't watch it live because I was actually chatting to Tina Goff, actually, from Germany, women's female cricketer over there. So I couldn't watch the second innings because of that. But watching the highlights afterwards was a pretty good thing that Australia got over the line in that. Lyon in, defended by Ravinder, no run. Lyon in again. And this one defended comfortably by Ravinder to the offside, no run. So New Zealand establishing a partnership, Ravinder and Mitchell. Lyon is in. Ravinder backs away to the leg side and guides it to backward point. There's no run. Oh, Nathan Lyon. He'll be hoping for another couple more wickets here to add on to his tally. As he's in again to Ravinder. Around the wicket. And Ravinder again works it out to backward point, and there's no run. Jihan says, David build powerfully. I saw him next to Stoinis, and he was making him look small. Well, he's definitely strong, that's for sure. Line in. This one left alone by Ravinder. No run. Yeah, he's definitely strong. He's definitely got the muscle and the power, and you can see that with his power hitting. So, yeah, I can see that he would make Marcus Stoinis a bit smaller there when it comes to the muscles department. Line in. Defended again by Ravinder. No run. It's the end of the over. 3 for 77. Maiden from Nathan Lyon. Australia patient for this 4th wicket. Just only takes 1 wicket to start a collapse of some sort, pick up a couple, maybe 3, to really get New Zealand panicking a little bit. Pitch is still doing a bit. It's been good from Australia, as you would expect it. The bowling's been good, pressure being built. It's just the batting was a little bit sketchy, except for Cameron Green's innings. As Pat Cummins continues, hoping to pick up his 1st wicket. John says, will Lyon go past Pidge? And we have 2 spinners at the top of our bowling leaderboard. Oh, I think he's got a possibility of doing that, John, I think. 563 is not far away. He's already in the 520s. So, yeah, definitely, I think he can. I think definitely be up there in the top 2 behind Warney as Cummins is in. Left alone by Mitchell again. Outside his off stump, no run. What is he on now? 520 odd. So plays on for another couple of years. Yeah, he can definitely get past Pidge, that's for sure, I think. Well, he's not going to retire anytime soon, Nathan Lyon. He said he wants to play on for a bit. So, there's a possibility that he might go past Glenn McGrath. We'll have to see. Cummins is in. This one short, pulled by Mitchell. Not convincingly. Gets it down to fine leg and he'll pick up a single. John says 600 for Gaz. Possibility, John. I think if he keeps bowling well, which I think he will, he just keeps getting better, Nathan Lyon. If Australia go to the subcontinent a few more times, to India, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, then yeah, definitely 600 will be on the cards. So yeah, definitely if that's his goal, he can definitely reach it. That's for sure. Pat Cummins. He's got 3 slips and a gully and a point. He's got a leg gully, mid on, mid off. Cummins in. This one full defended by Ravinder, no run. Gian says, I finished booking my Caribbean USA trip last week. Some of my match tickets were pretty expensive and hard to get, but going to the second semi in Guyana and the final in Barbados, hoping for Australia-West Indies final. Yeah, there was a lot of talk about the tickets, Jihan. So good thing that you got tickets because there's been some trouble in the States with that. Tickets being sold out and not being available. So that's good that you got tickets. Cummins in. This one short, pulled by Ravinder down a deep backward square leg. He'll pick up an easy boundary. And he moves on to 34, New Zealand, 3 for 82. It's definitely going to be an interesting T20 World Cup. The West Indies, they played well in the series against Australia, but a few missed opportunities. That's why they lost 2-1. It would be good to see them in the final, but T20 cricket, you never know. So different format as well. More associate nations are playing. There's going to be a Super 8 stage, and hopefully we can see what will happen in this T20 World Cup. This one full again from Cummins, defended by Ravinder. No. New World Cricket, Joey says, tickets were very expensive, in my opinion. Yeah, a lot of people did mention that when, buying tickets and that not being accessible, and obviously, so anyway, could have been handled a lot better by the ICC. As Cummins is in, this one worked around by Ravinder to deep backward square leg. He'll pick up another single in the over. 3 for 83. Three for 83. 30 overs done for New Zealand in this second innings, and Australia looking to pick up another couple or few wickets here. Gian says, I got a ticket to the US Ireland game, but both the India, Canada, and Pakistan Ireland games were sold out. Yeah. A lot of people did mention that some games were sold out and you couldn't get tickets, and it was just not really organised by the organising committee of the World Cup, the T20 World Cup in the US and Caribbean. So they could have done better. Travis Head is back into the attack. Nathan Lyon having a breather. Why not? Gaz has bowled a long spell. So over to Travis Head. He's got a wicket. Got a wicket of Will Young. Can Travis Head provide the breakthrough again for Australia? He's got 1 for 2 from his 2 overs. Travis Head. He's in, and Ravinder works it out to a deep point, and he'll pick up a single. Jihan, you also mentioned about catching up with Gabe from Cricket for Americans. He said Gabe did mention thinking about going to Florida during the World Cup. I've got 5 days in Fort Lauderdale and Miami. So if they're there, should see them. Be good to catch up with them if you can, Jihan. Definitely. While you're over there in the States and the Caribbean for this T20 World Cup. Jihan says, I had to get some tickets on second-hand markets, but they were really jacked up, the prices, unfortunately. Yeah, it could have been handled better. You know, the ICC could have done it a lot better in terms of making it accessible for people if they wanted to travel and go and watch these games. Defended by Mitchell, no run. But sure to be an interesting T20 World Cup, that's for sure. Good to see a tournament back in the Caribbean again. Head is in, and there is no run. Defended to the leg side by Mitchell. Head in again. And this one defended by Mitchell. No run. Jihan says, but I just probably thought a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Yeah, definitely, Jihan, definitely. Definitely. You know, it's definitely a once-in-a-lifetime trip, you know. So if you've got the opportunity, go and do it. Head in, Mitchell reverse sweeps, but straight to Stark at backward point. No run. He's played that a few times today, Mitchell, but he hasn't got to pass the field, excuse me. Head in. This one tucked to the leg side by Mitchell. Off his pads, but there's no runs. The end of the over. 3 for 84, Australia firming their position in this test match. Well on top. And New Zealand under the pump. Australia looking for a couple more wickets before the end of play today in this last session. Next in for New Zealand, Blundell, Phillips, and then you're into the bowlers and Cluggan, Henry, Southey, and O'Rourke. So Australia will be hoping for another few wickets here to get into that tail. Wrap up this innings and wrap up this test match before they go to Christchurch next week as Mitchell Stark is back into the attack. He's had a breather. He's back on. Pick up a few more wickets. Gian says, so as long as Australia qualify for the second stage, I should be seeing them play India at St. Lucia, I think, and Australia, New Zealand at St. Vincent's. Well, hopefully that's the case, Gian. You never know in T20 cricket. You never know how these things are going to pan out. So, but if it does, if the stars align, then those are pretty good games to see, that's for sure. It's good to see a tournament back in the Caribbean again, not since the 2007 World Cup. Hopefully this will reinvigorate cricket in the Caribbean. They certainly need what they can at the moment, getting people back into the game. Stark is in. This one, Ravinder manages to get it up and over point. And he'll pick up a boundary. He moves into the 40s. Yes, speaking about the Caribbean, we did speak to people from Belize, and quite interesting talking to them about cricket over there and cricket in the Caribbean. They want some players to play for the West Indies from Belize. So they're really optimistic about that, and hopefully they do that because they do have some talented players in Belize, which is a small American country in the Caribbean. Stark in, playing a miss by Ravinder. It's no run. Jihan says, just have to hope Australia don't lose to Oman or something to mess those fixtures up. Well, I think it's fairly safe to say, Jihan, that I think, you know, for any team in this T20 World Cup, you can't take the associate nations for granted because they can cause upsets. And we've certainly seen that in the past. So. But I think Australia should get the job done. They are one of the favourites to win, of course. As always, Stark is in. And this one, Ravinder defends to the fielder at point. No run. But yes, speaking about Caribbean cricket, we spoke to people in Belize for our associate cricket series. And as Jihan says, I think Belize was a British colony at some point, wasn't it? It was, Jihan, it was. They played cricket. So go and watch that episode that I did with. It's quite a funny episode. It's one of the most unusual interviews I've ever done. You know, it's quite interesting. People in Belize do things on their time, and it was quite interesting talking to the president and the vice president of the cricket board. They're doing some good work over there. That one down the leg side from Stark through the keeper, no run. They're doing some good work over there, and they want some players to play for the West Indies as well. So they're hoping that the West Indies will select players from Belize, because they are a part of the Caribbean sort of region when you look on the map. Not far away from Costa Rica, not far away from Mexico, not far away from those Caribbean islands. So it's quite interesting chatting to them. Quite unusual. At random times during the interview, both of them left for some apparent reason and then came back. So, as I say, it was one of my unusual interviews. Stark in, this one edged and just falling short of Smith at second slip. I don't think that carried. I think it bounced. Let's have a look. Came off at the edge clearly. Just falling short of Smith on the half volley. That second slip nearly into the hands. But do watch that episode, Jihan. It was quite an interesting episode that I did with it for our associate cricket series. And it's been great fun chatting to people from the associate cricket world. I've spoken to a lot of people. That's why we've been so busy, and that's why we haven't been able to stream as much as we would have liked. That one's a wide from Stark. One more run for New Zealand. John says most of the earth was a British colony at some point. Yeah, it was, pretty much. Not anymore, but it was back in the day, that's for sure. Yeah, but Belize, they are a part of the Commonwealth. They do play cricket, and they have a pretty good team. It's just about the funding and the money, that's for sure. And it certainly opened my eyes to behind the scenes, talking to people like this. That one guided out to point by Ravinder. There's no runs at the end of the over. It's 3 for 89. And definitely what I've learned in this associate cricket series, speaking to the people I have spoken to, quite a bit of an eye-opener when it comes to the ICC and what happens actually behind the scenes. Quite an eye-opener, really. Some of the things that you may have heard, but obviously behind the scenes when they speak to me in confidence, it's quite revealing, actually, and it's something that needs to be improved. But it's been a good series. I've really enjoyed it, and a lot of people have learnt more about these associate countries, which is fantastic. There's well over 96 associate countries in world cricket. Heads in, this one. Driven straight back down the ground by Mitchell. He'll pick up a boundary, will he? No. Cummins will rein it in. They'll come back for just the single only. Gian says, a friend of mine went to do some voluntary work there, and she really loved it. Yeah, they're quite a different people over there in Belize. They do things on their different time. And I experienced that in my interview. It was definitely a different interview, that's for sure. Quite unique in many ways, but a great chat with Roy and John from Belize, the president and the vice president. They care about cricket, they're passionate, and one wants best for Belize cricket, which is fantastic. And we've interviewed quite a few people from around the world, actually, from Mexico, from Japan, from Europe, even from Estonia. Who would have thought they play cricket in Estonia? Yes, they do. That was a great chat that I did recently. US, of course, Japan, as I mentioned, Brazil, Netherlands. So we've spoken to quite a lot of people in that series thus far. And that one defended to the leg side by Ravinder, no run. So, yeah, no, it's been a good series, that associate cricket series that we started late last year in December. We have so many interviews lined up for that. This one, slog swept by Ravinder, and he clears it all the way for a maximum. He moves on to 46. It's 3 for 96. New Zealand looking to put pressure on the part-timer Travis Head, but Australia won't mind that. That's gone out of the ground, I think. I think that's gone onto the road here at the Basin Reserve. There's a hefty blow from Ravinda. I think they've lost the ball. No, we've got the ball back. Someone's got the ball back, and he's thrown it back. Well done. One of the crowd members. But, yeah. But going back on associate cricket, it's something that's not really covered or talked about, really. So with us, in terms of giving these people a voice, we give them an opportunity to speak about cricket in their country. And they're doing some good work, but they just need some help from the ICC. And some of the things I've heard behind the scenes, off the camera, in confidence, is quite revealing, actually. Which is a shame. They could do better. That's the end of the over. It's 3 for 96 for New Zealand. 28 overs in this session. 2 for 81 being scored. So Australia just going along steadily, being patient. Wickets have fallen. Partnerships have been established, and then a wicket has fallen. So Australia just being patient, waiting for that opportunity that comes their way. But yes, for those who haven't watched the series, please do. It will definitely open your eyes to the rest of the world in cricket, because there's more to cricket than the full members. Let's just put it that way. Some of the stories, some of the things you hear, certainly from what I've heard from people speaking to me on this series, they just have a great love for cricket, and they love it. So it's been really good. It's been a good series, well received by everyone, which is fantastic. And a lot of people learning more about these associate countries and what they're doing in the game. Yeah, we spoke to people from all sorts of the world. We spoke to someone from Germany recently. We spoke to someone today from Hong Kong, a female player. And that episode will be coming out next week. So we've got plenty more to come. We've got a lot of European countries that we want to contact and have a chat with. And players as well. So it's been a good series, the Associate Cricket Series, that's for sure. New Zealand, 3 for 96. Slowly moving the score up and up and up. Mitchell Starc just ties his shoelaces, takes off his sweater, gives it to the umpire, and he's raring to go to bowl another over. 1 for 12 for Starc, so he's bowled tidy. And he'll be hoping to pick up another couple of wickets here for Australia. Jihan says, do you think Test cricket is becoming a two-tier game? Interesting question there, Jihan. It's been talked about, that's for sure. As Stark's in. And this one, defended by Mitchell, 2 point, no run. Well, you would say at the moment with the West Indies, maybe Sri Lanka, those countries that are not doing well at the moment in Test cricket, you could argue that it could potentially become a two-tier system. Obviously, Australia, India, England clearly ahead of everyone else. Could be a possibility in the future where we may see that happen. It's just everyone that plays Test cricket's at different levels at the moment. So it's definitely a consideration for sure. Stark in, Mitchell defends to mid-wicket. All right. Yeah, so, a lot of people have argued about that point. She would make it 2 divisions, promotion, relegation, all that stuff. But, yeah, the thing is that you just need to help out these countries. That's the thing. You need to help them out. They need to get money and funding, improve facilities, improve systems. That's not happening at the moment with the game at the moment. So that is definitely the big issue at play. Stark is in. Defends Mitchell, no run. New World Cricket Joey says, is the issue that only England, Australia and India can make the money off Test cricket. Does that play a part? Yes, it does. Let's be honest, other countries around the world. Let's just put New Zealand in this context. Seeing that, we're talking about this Test match with New Zealand and Australia. New Zealand don't make much money from Test cricket anyway. So even this series against Australia, it's a 2-test series. They won't make much money from it. So that has a factor in a role to play as well. And countries are more inclined to play ODIs and T20s because it makes the most money, really. That one bunted down the ground by Mitchell will pick up a couple. He moves on to just a single. In the end, good fielding from Cummins. He'll pick up another run to his tally. Jihan says yes. And also a lot of countries actually lose money by put it on Test cricket. Yeah, they do. So New Zealand is one of those countries. They don't make much money. That's why they play 2 Test matches a summer, because they just don't make much money from it. Their money, their revenue comes from T20 cricket and ODIs. Bit different in Australia because of the way that Australian cricket's going at the moment. Same with England, India, it's a bit different. But other countries around the world, not so much with Test cricket because they just don't have the crowds or the money coming in. So they're not inclined to play. This one's short, pulled away through backward square leg. It will bring up Rachin Ravinder's 50. And New Zealand bring up their 100 for 3 wickets down for 101. And Ravinder, he's been good. He's looked good. He's been scratchy at times, but he's gotten through that. And he's managed to register a half century. For New Zealand's sake, he has to go on. If he gets out now, that's not ideal. Stark. In again. And this one, down the leg side. There was an appeal for caught behind or LBW. Turned down in the end. No run. It's the end of the over. 3 for 101. New Zealand still facing an uphill battle, but they have brought up their century. 3 for 101. Ravinder's scored his half century off 78 balls. He's a promising player, but for New Zealand's sake, he's got to go on. At the moment, it's still Australia in front, you would say. Australia well ahead, obviously. They've got New Zealand 3 down. Only needs 7 wickets. And they've already made some impact. So they'll be hoping for another couple more wickets here, Australia. Get half the side out and start to think about trying to wrap up this Test match from that moment on. As Nathan Lyons back into the attack. So Travis Head's bowled a couple of overs. He's out of the attack. Lyons back after his spell. And he'll be hoping to pick up another couple of wickets here as he begins a new over. He's in. And this one, tucks up Mitchell. Defends. And there's no run. Daryl Mitchell, he's 8 off 44, so he's not quite as his absolute best at the moment. He's battling through this tough period. As Lyons in around the wicket, defended comfortably by Mitchell, no run. Certainly questions that Nathan Lyon is posing. Pitch is providing some turn, we've seen that. Australia just thinking about one breakthrough here. They can open the door. One brings 2 and so on. Line in. Reverse sweep by Mitchell. Can't get it past Stark at backward point region. He's played that shot a few times today. Can't get it past the fielders. Line. In again. This one defended by Mitchell again. No run. doing it comfortably. Mitchell looking unfazed. Partnership developing between him and Rach and Ravinder. Australia would dearly like another couple of wickets tonight. Really cap off the day well. This line's in. This one again, defended on the back foot this time by Mitchell, and there's no run. Definitely in the groove, Nathan Lyon's in the rhythm, wanting to pick up another wicket here. It's a long way to go for New Zealand. 7 wickets in hand. Australia would like to get another one here. Line in, defended again by Mitchell. No run. It's the end of the over. 3 for 101. Tidy over from Lyons and Maiden. And Australia patient for that fourth breakthrough of this inning. New Zealand dugout looking sort of flat. Kane Williamson not looking too pleased after a couple of dismissals in this test match, which were below his standard. Stark and Cummins talking about their plans for this over. As Stark will be hoping to remove Ravinder in this over if he can, get a new batter out there. And for New Zealand, they'll have to start again. Stark is in. And this one played off to the offside, and he'll pick up a single, Ravinder. Another run onto the total. So 2 wickets to fall in the session for Australia. Williamson and Young. We'll be hoping to add 2 more to that total. Have New Zealand 5 down, maybe 6 down at best, going into day 4. And Stark is in again. And this one played out by Mitchell to the offside. No run. And the score still 3 for 102 for New Zealand. 369 they need to win. Australia right in the box seat to take a 1-0 series lead. They've been pretty much bossing this test match. New Zealand have been behind. They've found ways to fight back, but they have crumbled under the pressure when it's been on by Australia. As Stark is in again. This one punched down the ground by Mitchell to mid-off. He'll pick up a single. He moves on to 9. Good fielding from Labuschagne. Looking to be involved. Hasn't had the test match he would have liked, Marnus, in terms of the runs. But with the fielding side of things, he's been pretty good. Got a run out to Williamson in the first innings. Hoping to make something happen here. Stark, 1 for 19 into his 6th over. Be hoping to just bowl that delivery that will bring about the wicket for Australia. Just to break this partnership. Stark is in. And Ravinder plays it out to the offside. He'll pick up another single. 52 for him. As he moves on in his innings, progressing his score. Certainly played well, Ravinder. And you could say the other batters from New Zealand haven't been at their best in this test match. Stark in. This one again defended by Mitchell. No run. Comfortably. Nine off 52 for Mitchell. Hasn't been at his fluent best, but he's doing his part for the team here. If he stick around for a bit, score some runs if he can, but already at the moment, Stark is in. Yeah, this one full, and Mitchell works it out to square leg. He'll pick up a couple. Travis Head picks it up, and they'll come through for two in the over. And the over, 3 for 106. New Zealand ticking their score along steadily, not at a rapid rate. Australia have bowled well. New Zealand have just looked to occupy the crease, which is what you expect from them in this situation when the odds are against them. They don't want a fall of wickets here and there. Rajshad, your question. You say, just a question. Why in most of your videos you are facing the left side? I mean, why not sit all straight chin up as it should be? Well, it's a lot comfortable. Plain and simple, it's a lot comfortable. You know, you want to be relaxed. You don't want to be tense. So I'm not really too bothered by that, really. Doesn't really matter what position I sit in, really. It's just comfortable for me. As Lion is in, this one defended by Ravinder, no run. So going back to your question, it's just, it's just the way I sit. It's just the position I take. It's a, laid back sort of approach. I'm not really too bothered about it, to be honest, until you brought up the question there. So I never really thought about it, really. This one again, defended by Ravinder, no run. Line in. This one defended again by Ravinder, no run. Australia looking to pick up another wicket here before the end of play. Already picked up 2 in this session. They'll be pretty happy with the 3 wickets already down already. Ravinder, yes, he's on 52. Mitchell on 11, but Australia looking to take another wicket. This one a play and a miss from Ravinder. Lion has his hands on his head, hoping for another wicket. Not far away from the bat. Just turning away from Ravinder, the left-hander. Not far away, and he'll be hoping just to pick up that wicket that Australia want. Get that 4th breakthrough of the innings as Lions in. Tight lead by Ravinder. Lets it go, no run. In the end, a good leave from Ravinder. Nathan Lyon certainly asking questions of him. Certainly asking questions, especially this pitch taking a little bit of turn. Lyon is in. This one defended by Ravinder. Defends it to the silly point fielder. There's no run. Send me the over. 3 for 106. Australia just building up dots. Slowing the scoring down. Being patient. Not far away from the end of the day. As that clock slowly ticks over towards 6:30 local time in Wellington. Not far away from the end of the day's play. And you would say another good day of cricket. Australia firmly in the box seat, of course. Ravinder and Mitchell providing some resistance and fight, but how long would that fight and resistance last? It only takes a matter of time before they lose a wicket, and then things can start to unravel, as they would in this sort of situation when there's a difficult run chase and you didn't really bat well in the first innings, and going into the second innings, it can be difficult. So it's going to be Mitchell, and he is going to face up Josh Hazlewood, who's back into the attack. So here's Hazlewood in, and this one defended by Mitchell. Ball trickles out to point, and there's no run. Yeah, just squaring up Mitchell, coming off the outside edge, but not quite carrying. Asking questions. Hazlewood bowling good areas here and there. That's where you want to be in, really. Hazlewood in. This one left alone by Mitchell outside off stump. There's no run. Patience game at the moment here. Australia looking to just be patient, bowl good areas, just hold a good line and length if they can. Look to play on the patience of these two batters as Hazlewood's in again. Short ball, ducked under by Mitchell, no run. Hazlewood wanting to pick up this fourth wicket for Australia. Get into the rest of the middle order. Hazlewood is in. Defended by Mitchell to mid-off, no run. It's been tidy from Hazlewood again in the server. So plays and misses from Mitchell. Hazlewood asking questions as always. Looking to prize out a mistake from Mitchell. Looking him to make an error. Judgment, played the wrong line. Played a delivery he shouldn't. Hazlewood is in. And this one in the gap. Down the leg side. Down a fine leg for a dead ball. Darren Mitchell tried to get out of the way of that one. He let it hit his pad and it trickled down to the fine leg boundary. But even though it went for 4, it was a dead ball. Didn't attempt to play a shot at that one. So no leg buys awarded there. That's why it was called a dead ball. So no runs on that delivery. Dead ball. Hazlewood in. This one again, a short ball, ducked under by Mitchell. Sees it over his head to the keeper. No run. It's the end of the over. 3 for 106. It's a maiden from Hazlewood, building the pressure up steadily with these dots and just stopping the scoring here a bit, Australia. Just drying up the runs and being patient. Still in a good position. They need a further 7 wickets, so that's right in their grasp as Nathan Lyon continues. Australia looking for this last breakthrough of the day. As we approach the end of the day, stumps not far away. Be hoping to wrap up this test match if they can. And certainly Australia be very pleased with how the day has turned out. 369, they've set New Zealand. Picked up 3 wickets already, so it's been a pretty good day as Lions in. Defended by Ravinder, no run. So Australia just hoping for that wicket delivery. Line in. And this one cut away by Ravinder to backward point. It's no run. Still remains on 52. Line in. And this one tucked around the corner down to fine leg. It won't quite get to the boundary. They'll pick up 2. Ravinder will improve his score by another 2 runs. John says, I have to trough off. See what happens with the match tomorrow. Anyone watching, chatting, subscribe and help Jack crack 1,000. Unpaid announcement. Thank you, John. Much appreciated, as always. We're not far away. We're only 6 away from 1,000. So if you haven't subscribed, please do. So thank you, John. So, John, if you're listening, your stickers will be on the way. So just look out in your mailbox. Bit of a heads up. But thank you, John. See you next time. But much appreciated with the support. Lion, what can he do here? He's in, and this one cut away by Ravinder. Backward of points, but he'll pick up another single. Moves on to 55. Yes. Jihan says, I'm going to head off too. I have to get back from my lunch break. Long lunch break, Jihan says. I think Australia will wrap this up by tea tomorrow. Definitely, Jihan. Also, Jihan, if you're listening as well, your stickers will be in the mail as well. So stay tuned for that, Jihan. Make sure you check your letterbox. I've been so busy, I haven't been able to send them off. But once I can have time to send them off, I'll send them off. And they should be in your inbox or mailbox probably in the next few weeks or something like that. So, seeing the over 309 for Australia. And I slowly clawing their way in New Zealand to stumps. There's only a few minutes left before the end of the day. And Jihan says, great, cheers, I will do. I will do, yeah. Same with John. Cool bananas, yes. Well, they're not bad stickers, actually. I've actually got one on the back of my phone, which is right here. So there you go. That's what you can expect in terms of the stickers. So check your mailbox, and they'll come in the near future, hopefully, if I have time to send them off, because I've been so busy with other things that are on my itinerary and schedule. So Hazelwood could be the last serve of the day. Maybe one more after this. New Zealand have done well to try and get the stumps 3 down, but it's still going to be a difficult task. Australia definitely have the upper hand in this test match with 3 wickets already taken. They only need a further 7 to win. New Zealand, 369 is the target they need to chase down. So still not out of the woods yet, if I can say that. Well, thanks everyone for joining us. I hope everyone is having a good day. And yes, good to be back after a long break, after a few months. Good to be back for a live stream on the podcast. As Hazelwood continues, this one's short, ducked away by Ravinder, and there is no run. 3 for 109. Hazelwood, can he get a wicket just before stumps? He's in, and this one defended by Ravinder to the leg side, and there's no run. slowly coming towards end and another day of test match cricket in this first test. Australia looking pretty well on top and looking for that final 7 wickets to wrap up this test. Short, pulled by Ravinder. Didn't quite time it. He'll get a single to deep square leg, though. He moves on to 56, 3 for 110 for New Zealand. You'll have to say another good day for Australia. New Zealand prepared to fight. They've shown that in this last session with Ravinder and Mitchell. How long would the resistance and the fight last for? That's the one question that most New Zealand fans will ask. 3 balls left to this over. And Mitchell looking to face up to Hazelwood here. Here's Hazelwood, and this one left alone by Mitchell. There's no run, so slowly ticking the time away. This could be the last serve of the day. Maybe one more if we're lucky. But we have gone into that extra half-hour territory. So this could be the last server, you would think. Hazelwood in. This one short, ducked under by Mitchell. There's no run. Potentially the last ball of the day. Hazelwood about to complete the over. He's in now. And this one worked to the leg side by Mitchell for a single. It's the end of the over. 3 for 111. Could be the last over of the day. And it is. So there we go. That's stumps on day 3. New Zealand finished on 3 for 111. They were set 369 runs for victory. Australia will be very pleased with their work, picking up 3 wickets, advancing the lead beyond 350 plus. It's been a good day of test match cricket, and certainly Australia well on top in this test match. New Zealand still have a long, long way to go, but you would have to say Australia well on track for a series victory here in terms of winning and retaining the Trans-Tasman trophy. So the players walk off. I think Australia would be pretty content with their day. Well on top still. Mitchell and Ravinder have batted well in this partnership, but still a lot of work to do for them. Yep, 3 wickets to fall for New Zealand today in the second innings. Latham, Young and Williamson all departed. And Ravinder and Mitchell have held the ship at the moment. They've steadied the ship at the moment, but Australia looking threatening. They're looking to pick up these last 7 wickets. So that's how the day has ended. And Australia still well on top in this test match, with New Zealand needing a further 258 more runs for victory. It's a tough ask. Australia definitely in the box seat. New World Cricket. Joey says, good deal. Great commentary. Well, thank you. Thank you, Joey. Glad you enjoyed the stream. And thank you, everyone who has joined us as well for this live stream of the podcast. It's been a while since we've done a live stream, so I just thought it would be a good time to do one today for this New Zealand-Australia first test match on day 3. But hopefully we can return for the second test. So do stay tuned for that. We may be back for the second test in terms of a live stream if we have the time. But yeah, good to be back and good to be connecting with the community that we've built up on the podcast. Also, we're not far away from 1,000 subscribers, so make sure you subscribe to the podcast if you haven't done so yet, because we would like to tick off that number and get to 1,000 subscribers if we can. So we're not far away from it. So help us reach 1,000 subscribers, and that will be a great achievement nonetheless. But thanks, everyone, for joining us. I hope everyone had a good time, and we hope to see you next time for another live stream on the Dibbly-Dobbly podcast. Until next time, keep safe and bye for now.